Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. It's Gomer here with another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This game was played last night. It's my Empire versus the new and improved Wood Elves. Um, Learn a lot in this game, and they're about how good these Wood Elves are probably going to be. Um, Obviously, I'm taking a South Coast GT comped Empire list to a tournament at the end of the month. So I'm playing around with some things. Wanted to look at some metal magic. Not ideal against Wood Elves, but we knew that going in. And of course, these Wood Elves aren't comped under this tournament. But we didn't care. Just want to have a bit of fun. So let's get into it. My list, I've got a special character Volkmar the Grim for a soft choice, level 4 Metal Wizard, level 2 Light Wizard, Witch Hunter for another soft choice, Captain BSB, a block of halberds, marchers, 2 vanilla knight units, 4 demis, steam tank, the Hurricaneer, a cannon, a Hellblaster, engineer. And so for this month's interesting list, he's got the Treeman Ancient, level 4 of life, Dryker, the special character, 3 Waystalkers, one with the Bow of Lauren, 10 Dryads, 10 Glade Riders, 20 Glade Riders all up, one True Flight, one with Hagbane, 3 sets of 5 Scouts, 2 of them with Hagbane arrows, another one with True Flight, and 2 lots of 15 Way Watchers. So, I mean, I didn't know this until he explained it, but so Dryker can hide forest spirits, and he's only got 2 sets of forest spirits with the 10 Dryads and the Treeman. So if he gets a roll of 2 or more on the D3, he's basically deploying with nothing on the board. So for my magic, uh, the level 2 of light just rolls up 5 and a 6, which is pretty good. And for metal, I ended up with Searing Doom, Transmutation of Lead, the Hounds, and Final Trans. And on the Treeman, he ends up with Throne of Vines, Regrowth, Awakening the Wood, and Dwellers. And Dryker, or whatever her name is, has Miasma and the Withering. So let's get into deployment. So he rolled on D3 for Dryker. He rolled, or Drycher, however you say it. He rolled a 2 for the D3. So before Scout deployment, this is the deployment. So yeah, I set up thinking he may end up with units of Scouts in those forests just ahead of me on the right, but um, as you'll see, it's not the way it went. So on my left, anyway, I've got my knights, 1 set of knights and the steam tank and the hellblaster. My halberdiers in the middle, a couple of units of archers, and my war altar behind them. And then out on the right, I've got the demis, the other knights, and my hurricaneum. So then he puts his scouts down. So he puts his 2 lots of 15 way watchers right at the back. I think they're at 30 inches away. So I'm not going to be able to hit him with anything. And then he puts his skirmishing scouts just pretty much along the board edge there. You can see them. The 2 that you can see there on the top right, I think, are the Hagbane scouts, poison arrows, and then another set over here are the True Flight. So he's got one of his Waystalkers in that one. I think that's the one with the Boloran. So it's got 2 sniping shots. And the other 2 Waystalkers are back with the Waywatchers on that hill over to the left. So that's how it ends up before we start. So, yeah, one of the biggest mistakes I've made here too is I sort of pushed up with my Metal Wizard, put him in that bunker there. Wouldn't really call it a bunker of 5 archers, trying to get him in range, thinking he may be in the forest or something like that. And yeah, you'll see. It turns out well for him. Anyway, so we roll 4 dice. To see who goes first. He gets a 6, I get a 1, so he's definitely going first. First thing he does is roll up, see if his forest spirits, whatever they're called, come in, and his Treeman Ancient arrives. He puts them in the forest up near the way watchers there. Just a closer shot of him. And he doesn't do much. He just moves up a little bit with the way watchers in the forest there, and moves the Treeman Ancient around the back of that impassable terrain. Moves his scouts up a little bit within the 30 inches, I think. And this is where the fun starts. So his Bow of Lauren Way Stalker, 2 shots, snipes at my metal wizard at the front there. Scores 1 hit, I think, and I failed my ward, so he's already down one wound. And then using his other 2 way stalkers, just single sniper shots. Maybe not even sniper shots. I think he just shot at that unit to get it under the to kill one of them. So now they're under 5. And his 2 Hagbane Glade Guard take 2 of my 2 wounds on the Hellblaster. And then his Way Watchers unload with the 30 shots, distributed between the 4 left archers and my Metal Mage, and he's dead. So all the discussions pre-game about metal, waste of time. So we're going down for turn 1. Carrying on from my last game with the High Elves, my Steam Tank misfires straight off the bat, and ends up with just 1 steam point. So he trundles forward about an inch. My left knights start heading towards that forest. The whole line sort of, I guess, surges forward a little bit. Now I'm conscious that he's got 2 sets of 10 Glade Riders to come on. And make a bit of mistake there, actually, because for some reason I thought they'd have to be outside of 12 inches. So I left those knights on the right, their back. Hindsight, I probably should just moved everything up as fast as I could. Just ignored them until they came. So we're going to Magic for Empire turn 1. Oh, sorry, Magic for Wood Elves turn 1. I think he tried to get thrown off irresistibly, and I think I may have dispelled it or something like that. Anyway, nothing much happened. Yeah, he had 6 dice or something. It was 7-6 Magic phase. So this Magic phase 9 to 5. I get an infinite force off on banishment from my level 2, and roll actually 11 hits on the Way Watchers and take out 11 of them. So that was pretty good. The resulting miscast, it just rolled a 7, and I ended up taking out 2 of my guys. I rolled 3 1s, so that's good. The Treeman Ancient's sitting behind that impassable, so I can't really bounce my cannonball, but I could guess 2 inches in front, which was good. So I did that. I rolled a 4 and actually scored a hit. Got through his ward and rolled 5 to wound. So almost leveled it back, losing a level 4. He almost lost his level 4. I think that would have got the game very much back in the hand there, but not to be. So Wood Elves turn 2, the Hagbane Glade Riders rock up, facing my cannon. Another shot of it, I guess. And his Dryads awaken, and he pops them in the same forest there. And here's just some shots from his point of view of the Empire coming across the board. So the Ancient Treeman just moves a little bit to get out of the way of that cannon. And a bit of a blow shot, but the rest of his line, his Way Watchers, that small unit of 5 now, move up a little bit, and his scouts move a little bit closer as well. His scouts out on the right move out of the charge arc of my Demigryphs. Again, going back to that would have been good if I'd moved those other knights up. His move there would have been a bit more useless, but I didn't. So Magic was 10 to 4 for the Wood Elves. Another big mistake, I think, on my part here. So I think he 3 dice thrown, and for some reason I was worried about. I mean, I thought the whole game I think I've been worried about dwellers. That's what it came down to. That's why I didn't put my level 4 in my blocker halberds to start off with. I was just envisioning him bringing his treeman out right in that forest, 8 inches away, dwellering my halberds with all my characters in it. And again, I think I'm worried about it again too early in the game, and so I scrolled this. I scroll the throne, that is. So then with his remaining dice, he gets regrowth off on the Way Watchers, brings a few back. And this one's where it hurts. He gets withering off and rolls a 6 for the D3. So my steam tank's now toughness 3. Damn, is all I can say. Not much there. So he's Hagbaned Glade Guard across the table. You can just see him in the distance there. They go at my Hellblaster again, and this time take it out. And I think they also tried at the cannon. Didn't do too much. His Way Watchers, though, all of them unload on my steam tank. One lot, I think, get 5 wounds through. The next lot get another 3 through. He's on 8 wounds now. And then he's Hagbaned Way Watchers at my cannon, scoring 3 wounds for that. So it's gone. So Empire turn 2, not looking good. 9 wounds on the no. Well, I'm on 9. That's right, because I have to. I mean, you misfire when you got 8. Luckily, I rolled a 1 for. I rolled the misfire one that does the gain D3 but lose D3 wounds. So I gained an extra steam point, so I ended up with 5 steam points and 9 wounds. So I mean, on one hand, that's good. I mean, that could have just been devastating right there, but at least I get a chance to go forward 3d6 and smash into some Way Watchers. I guess appreciating now that I'm just getting peppered to bits. Everything moves up as fast as it can. I don't care if I'm going through forests. Probably should have thought of this earlier. I do lose 1. I think this could be a failed charge too. I can't remember, but in any case, I lose 1 to dangerous terrain. Yeah, I rolled very high for the 3d6 movement for the steam tank. It smashes into those Way Watchers. Actually, slightly out of the forest there too, so that's why I just ran into them. And the rest of them, my army just moves up. I mean, my engineer down the bottom, not that I can really block him from doing anything, but at the time I'd moved him up to stop him charging things. And the rest of the army's just moved forward. Those knights over on the right have finally woken up and gone, actually, we might as well just move. So they're up there. Yeah, we're just trying to get up as quick as we can, hoping I can get a couple of banishments off before I die. So magic was 12 to 6, so I was able to 6 dice 2 sets of banishments. Now, again, this is, do you go for points or you try and knock unit sizes down? So, and I was rolling bad for the 2d6s on the banishment, so I took out 4 of this unit, so not all of them, which sucked. And then I had, what do? Do I shoot banishment again and take out the 1 guy? Or do I try to take out the 5 in the other unit? And I elected to take out the 5 in the other unit. But only took out, that's what I rolled for the 6 hits that I did, needing 4s. Maybe even needing 3s. I can't remember which one that was. Yeah, actually, that one probably was the Waralter, needing 3s. So I managed to take out 2. So, yeah, not good. The good thing was that yeah, they probably should have ran first. I can't remember what happened here, but anyway, that one guy ran and panicked the other 2. I think we did that out of order, but I guess at the end of the day, I would have probably shot at the ones with 3 anyway. So it does give me more excuse for shooting the ones with 3, since that guy with 1 left is now on Snake Eyes to rally. Yeah, impact hits going into combat here. Obviously, the Way Watchers are dead. But I have a toughness 3, 1 wound left steam tank, so it's not going to last long. Yeah, so Wood Elves turn 3. The Dryads, with their great strength 3, looking good against this toughness 3 machine, come flying in. Those three Glade Guard scouts there rally. The other guy doesn't, obviously. Yeah, you can see his old Lauren Waystalk has moved out of that unit and heading over as he's trying to get away from these demis and stuff. And also getting some of my characters in my halberds in his line of sight so he can snipe them. Yeah, those scouts, I think they've just moved back a bit too. And on come his... No, this is still the Hagbaned Glade Riders, just showing a shot that they've sort of lined up ready to take pot shots at the War Altar. Magic's 9 to 6. He gets thrown off with infinite force, whatever it's called, miscast it. Obviously doesn't do a wound to himself. And then he tries to get regrowth off on some of those scouts that I knocked down. And I rolled double sixes to spell, so that's good. I think he did it on the one with the one guy left as well, so obviously he would have been able to rally easier then, but luckily I dispelled it. Yeah, I think the the True Flight scouts over on the right that are in front of the demis took the last two archers out. And then his sniper here goes at my level 2, and I think he misses. Misses or fails to wound one of them. And his other two Waystalkers do the same thing and get a wound through on my level 2 wizard. A little acolyte man. And just a shot of some of the board there. So these Hagbaned Glade Riders go at my War Altar. It gets one wound on the War Altar itself and one wound on Volkmar. And the Dryads with their great strength 3 easily take out my toughness 3 steam tank. It's dead in reform. So Empire turn 3. I turned my I was going who am I going to banish here? I've got one go of magic here. My level 2 is going to last one turn. This turn really, that's it. And I thought, who knows, I might be able to, if I can knock some out with a banishment of these Glade Riders with my War Altar, I might be able to survive in combat, depending on how many I can kill. So I pivot my War Altar. And we had some fun charges, failed charges. I think the so the Right Knights charge, I think they fled. In any case, yeah, there's a bunch of failed charges here. But I think those Glade Guard end up running off the board in any case. I think that's what happened. So we go for magic. It was 12 to 6 again. Pretty big for not having many spells. He lets Baronas through. I mean, my thought was just let's get it through. My wizard's gonna die, and at least I'll have movement 8 and maybe get a charge off as quickly as I can. And we get banishment through, but I only managed to kill 4. So they're down to, they've still got 5 or 6 guys there. Wood Elf turn 4. So these Glade Riders decide to charge in, hoping to do enough impact hits, and not impact, spear, strength 4 armor piercing hits to take Volkmar out with his 2 wounds left. Even a 5-up ward's pretty much a t-shirt save. His True Flight Glade Riders now finally appear in turn 4. And his Treeman comes out now to get a bit closer to try and do some Dwellers action. Okay, maybe I was a bit hasty. Yeah, so last turn I probably did try and charge. I think they were 19s I needed, so I needed double 6s on both those units, and I think I'd failed. But I'd moved it up in such a way that he had nowhere to run, so he's just moved up now to block an easy wheel from my demis. Um, they're sacrificing themselves, I guess. Uh, Wood Elves turn 4, and this helped, I guess, is he only rolled 3 Forbidden of Magic. We end up with 2 each. And he gets regrowth on the Glade Riders here, though, so he brings 3 back. The couple of life spells he's cast, his treatment's now back up to 4 wounds from being down to 1. This is a shame. I've got nothing to really hit him anyway anymore. That's just showing he's got 4 wounds left. I think those True Flight scouts take out my engineer. Grab some points. And the Waystalkers snipe out that level 2, so he's gone. The Waywatchers up there, the 15, they 30 shots into the halberds. They only killed 5 though, and I guess that's probably right. I think they'd moved long range, multi-shot, and then it's strength 3 versus toughness 3. I guess that's about right. Just seems like you should have killed more, but that's probably about right. And these True Flight, is it True Flight? You know what I mean. Glade Riders go at my Hurricaneum, just if it doesn't cause any wounds. So in combat, yeah, look, he gets 2 out of all the hits. He does get 2 through. I fell both wards, and Volkmar goes down, falling off the dais, whatever it's called. Obviously, I'll lose combat. I'm stubborn. I think it's on a 6 or something, whatever the horses are. And it holds. There's just a picture of where we're up to. Actually, that could even be Empire turn 4, actually. I've moved the Hurricaneum behind my War Altar. I mean, purely what I thought is if it breaks and gets away, it'll bump through. And I did it in a way that, maybe I didn't on this turn, that the overrun might stop them hitting my Hurricaneum at the time. Clip it, but I think he's just killed too many of my halberds. So, useless. So yeah, here's where we do all the charges and double fleas off the table. So those Glade Guard are gone, and that's the result of the fleas that we tried on the redirects, that Waystalker and all that. That's where my guys have ended up. And then just a shot from the other side. It's still Empire turn 4. We're just not gonna. Don't have enough time to get those demis and knights over. Magic was just a 6/6. I just threw 6 dice at the Hurricaneum's bound spell on the Glade Riders, the ones behind the forest. It scatters though, didn't do anything, or I didn't get it off, one of the two. So Wood Elf turn 5. His Glade Riders now just go into the forest. They got true flight arrows. They can just sit in there and shoot all day. And he gets Withering off, just rolls a 1 for it, so it's toughness 2 halberdiers. Then he gets Miasma off, -2 to my movement on the halberdiers. And then his Treeman Ancient throws, you know what, Dwellers, and 21 of my halberds get pulled into the ground. And that's just a shot of my very angry Witch Hunter. I think he's the only character left here, because I lost my Battle Standard there too. My Battle Standard bearer went down the hole. These Waywatchers open up now, and toughness 2 humans, and drop another rank or something. So puts a wound on my Witch Hunter as well. And I think his Glade Riders here take a couple more out. So in combat, I don't know if he did a wound. He might have. I didn't do anything to him. Actually roll a 10 though on my break test and run away, but he catches me and pursues into the Hurricaneum. So Empire turn 5. There's not much left now. Just moving to a 5 wide. I didn't really even move the figures around. There's actually not that many ranks. And yeah, we just move up as quick as we can. It's not going to do anything though. Again, the only thing I had in Magic, I think it was 12 to 8, but I just had to 6 dice the Arcanum spell and get it off this time, but it scatters, so it doesn't do anything. And again, the Glade Riders, yeah, they just smash my couple of Acolytes, plus charge, plus a rank, and they take out my Hurricanum in combat. Pursue into the woods. Wood Elf turn 6, he decides, well, look, see, these guys have taken out a lot, so let's see if they can take the Demigryphs out. So yeah, in they go in the side, which is, not a bad call. They're not that great. If you get them in the flank, they're only 3 attacks back if you disregard the Inner Circle Knight. I think we're just seeing if the Glade Riders were in the front arc of these guys. I think they were, but then don't think he charges them anyway. Or possibly he rolls double ones. Oh, it's because he wants to send... Okay, so he wants to send the Treeman and the Dryads, because of the way they would wheel, he'd be able to get the Treeman clipped on the right of that unit. I failed a terror test. Now, technically I didn't actually need to take a terror test. I forgot the way the Witch Hunter would make this unit not immune to terror, but at least only fear them. So they wouldn't be taking a test here. But in any case, I did, and I failed that, so they ran. They didn't get caught in the charge, though. They got out of that. But he unloads, looks like he unloads a few more arrows at them, kills a few more. There's just some failed charges, I think. And you can see my dead pile. It's quite big. Magic 9 to 5. He gets an Awakening of the Wood on this unit. Peels off another 4. There's not many left. And he gets a -1 to my weapon skill on the Demigryphs. You see I've still got Withering there too on them. Yeah, he's not doing too much. He killed another 2 or 3, looks like 3 in shooting. So it's looks. I think there's 4 or 5 guys left, plus the Witch Hunter. So he's in combat. His Glade Riders, they don't do any wounds, and I don't even think I did any wounds when he had a charge. So I actually did lose the combat, but I didn't break and I reformed. So now he's in trouble there. My guys kept, because they're on double ones, they kept fleeing. They had to flee through his unit the way it was. So dangerous terrain checks and my Witch Hunter dies. So all my characters are dead. And yeah, it's the end of the game now. My Halberd Demis take out his Glade Riders. So a little bit of consolation there, not much. But yeah, wow. What else massacred me? Those Waste Stalkers with their ability to sniper, unprotected. If you've got unprotected wizards, things like that, they're gonna die, especially when you're humans. And yeah, the Way Watchers too, they're great. He's 2 units of 15, putting out up to 60 shots. Of course, it doesn't help when I go and put my level 4 in a unit of 5 archers. I won't be doing that again against Wood Elves. And yeah, just the choice of when I dispel things. Not that it would have massively changed what happened here, but not trying to avoid withering on my steam tank in the first couple of turns would have probably been a better thing to worry about than worrying about dwellers, especially once I saw where he'd put his treeman. It was just my lack of looking at the spells to work out ranges and stuff. That should have been my highest priority. But anyway, you got to learn. You got to lose to learn. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the new Wood Elves in action. I'm definitely scared playing them a little bit more now with the Empire, but I'll also probably get on the bandwagon as everyone else is. So we'll see. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've got any comments or questions or whatever. I'd like to hear from you and like my channel and all the usual goodness, and I'll see you next time.